the Social Security payment schedule for November 2022. This includes retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and SSI beneficiaries. I have all the details and the key dates you want to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, another new month is upon us, and if you're anything like me, when the new month rolls around, you pull out a calendar to see when checks are going to be arriving. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now November happens to be one of those months where checks are going to be arriving significantly earlier than a typical month because the first of the month actually lands on a Tuesday, whereas a Thursday would actually make checks arrive a lot later. So this happens to be one of my favorite types of months, so let's get into it and talk through all the details because checks are going to be arriving a lot sooner this month versus what we've seen in previous months. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the dates in chronological order. In other words, starting at the beginning of the month and working our way all the way through the month so we can talk through all the details and exactly when payments will be hitting your bank accounts. Again, for about 70 million beneficiaries receiving Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and of course SSI monthly benefits, all of which are administered by the Social Security Administration. Now, one more quick side note. I just want to make this very clear so that we're all on the same page right away. Wherever you typically receive your checks is where you're going to get your payment unless you've changed your payment details within the last month or so. So if you typically get it as a direct deposit into a bank account, that's where you're going to get it. If you typically get it onto a Direct Express card, that's where you're going to get it. If you typically get it as a paper check in your mailbox, again, that is probably where you're going to get it, okay? Just so that we're all on the same page here and that we know where the checks are going to be arriving. So with that being said, let's get into it and talk about all the key dates that we want to pay attention to in the month of November when it comes down to it for the payment schedule of Social Security benefits, all the benefits I've mentioned a couple times throughout this video. All right, so let's first start out with the first of the month, which happens to land on a Tuesday. So yes, the 1st of November lands on a Tuesday, the day after Halloween, so hope you don't get too scared. I know, I'm not very funny, sorry. Anyway, so the 1st of the month is landing on a Tuesday. Therefore, for the roughly 8 million SSI beneficiaries, you'll be getting your payment on that day. Now remember, when it comes down to SSI beneficiaries, again, all of you know this, but let me just throw it out there really quickly. If you generally receive your payment on the 1st of the month, and for some reason, if the 1st of the month lands on a weekend or a holiday, which it did happen that way for October, remember, your payment would typically arrive the day before. However, that's not the case this time. The 1st of the month lands on a Tuesday, therefore, there's no changes to the distribution of the payment. So, for SSI beneficiaries, there's about 8 million of you out there. Your benefits will be arriving on Tuesday, November 1st. Again, watch your bank account, your Direct Express card, typically wherever you receive your payment, and that is where you will get your SSI benefit. So, now let's quickly fast forward out to Thursday. That happens to be the 3rd of the month. Now, I do know that there are a lot of you here in the community who typically receive your payments on the 3rd of the month as well. Now again, this one lands on a Thursday, so no changes to the distribution of your payment. You'll be getting it on Thursday, which is the 3rd of November, if you're somebody who typically gets your payment on the 3rd of the month. So just remember that day happens to be a Thursday, so again, no changes there. You'll get your payment on that day. All right, now let's get into the calendar here and talk about the Wednesdays, right? We all know the 2nd Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday, and the 4th Wednesday are the very important dates that we want to talk about. And then, of course, I'm also going to talk about Thanksgiving and how that may or may not interfere with the distribution of payments. So stay tuned for that here in just a minute as well. All right, so let's quickly talk about this because, like I said a minute ago at the beginning of the video, I love when the months start out with the 1st of the month either landing on a Tuesday or a Wednesday because this means your payments arrive a lot sooner versus if the 1st of the month landed on a Thursday or Friday. And it all comes down to the Wednesdays. Here's what I mean by that. So let's quickly talk about and look at the date of the 2nd Wednesday of the month. It happens to land on the 9th. Therefore, if you're somebody with a birthday landing between the 1st of the month and the 10th of the month, your payment is going to arrive on the 2nd Wednesday of the month, which happens to be November 9th. Nice, right? I agree. I like it. So your payment is arriving earlier this month than what it typically does, simply because of how the dates are actually laying on the calendar this month for November. Okay, so pretty cool stuff. I like these kinds of months. So anyway, the second Wednesday, November 9th, is when those people who have a birthday, again, landing between the 1st and the 10th of the month, that will be arriving on Wednesday, November 9th. Now next, let's fast forward out to which is Wednesday, November 16th, okay? This is the next Wednesday. This is the third Wednesday of the month. For those of you that have a birthday landing between the 11th and the 20th of the month, this is when your payment is going to be arriving. Wednesday, November 16th is when your payment will arrive for those of you with the birthday landing between the 11th and the 20th of the month. Nice, right? It could be coming a lot later than that, but this is a pretty good situation. It's coming pretty early this month, and again, I love it. Next, let's fast forward out to November 23rd, Wednesday, November 23rd. This is the next date. This is the fourth Wednesday of the month. For those of you that have a birthday landing between the 21st and the 31st of the month, this is when your payment will be arriving. It'll be hitting your bank account, hitting your Direct Express card, wherever you get it. It will be hitting that account on that day, Wednesday, November 23rd, for those people that have a birthday landing between the 21st and the 31st of the month. Now, this is the typical payment schedule for Social Security. The second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, and the fourth Wednesday. No changes to this. Nothing has changed about this schedule. The only thing that changes about this schedule is when the dates land on the calendar. For example, if the first of the month landed on a Wednesday, the payment schedule would be even better, right? This would be the best case scenario because the second Wednesday of the month in that example would be landing on the 8th of the month. Therefore, you'd be getting your payments a lot faster, right? Versus if the first of the month landed on a Thursday, well, then payments would be pushed out another 6 days. That'd be a lot longer to wait, right? So these payment schedules are basically the exact same every single month, the first, the third, the second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, and the fourth Wednesday of the month. However, the only thing that changes is the calendar, right? The days in which the first lands on the month. So if the first lands on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you get your payments a lot sooner. If the first of the month lands on a Thursday or Friday, we get our payments a lot later, like 6 days later, 5 days later, a lot later in the month. So this is why I like this kind of month, because the first is landing on a Tuesday. Therefore, I like it, right? Because I like to make sure that everybody gets their payment a lot faster. So I'm always watching the calendar and watching these things because the payment schedule does change as far as the dates every single month, even though the first of the month, the third of the month, the second Wednesday, third Wednesday, and fourth Wednesday have been consistent for a very, very long time as payment dates for Social Security benefits. Hope that kind of makes sense. So with that being said, I also want to make this very clear. This is not a stimulus check. This is your regular monthly payment that you always get and have been getting for a very long time. Again, I like to make these videos because I'm pretty sure you've looked at the calendar. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure every fixed income beneficiary, as the new month arrives, pulls out a calendar and says, I usually get my payment on this day. I wonder when I'm going to get it this month. So I know that I look at the calendar every single month because I want to know when our checks are going to be arriving, right? I want to know these details, and I would almost guarantee that pretty much every single person, it probably looks at a calendar as well. And that's why I like to lay these dates out for you, because they do change every single month. Now let's quickly talk about Thanksgiving, and will this interrupt the distribution of payments? Nope. Turkey Day will not interrupt the payments of Social Security benefits. So if you're worried about a holiday like Thanksgiving interrupting the distribution of payments going out to people, it's not going to. Not at all. Never has, and it never will, okay? So please don't worry about that. Pretty much, there's not many holidays that really do impact it. Now, again, if a holiday does happen to land on like the second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, or the fourth Wednesday of the month, or the first of the month, like for example, New Year's Day, obviously for SSI beneficiaries, the 1st of January, New Year's Day, is a holiday, right? So we always know this. For SSI beneficiaries, your benefit always arrives the day before. And if it happens to land on a weekend, so if the 1st of the month happens to land on a weekend, or maybe even a Monday, for example, this would actually be a pretty cool situation, because if you're an SSI beneficiary and the 1st of January lands on a Monday, guess what? You're not going to get your payment on Monday. You're not going to get it on Sunday. You're not going to get it on Saturday, but you're going to get it on the Friday before, right? So you're virtually going to get it like 3 days early. You're going to get it a few days early. Pretty cool stuff, right? Now, that doesn't happen all that often, but again, I think we all recognize when the 1st lands on a Saturday or Sunday or on a holiday, then of course you get your payment early. Other than that, pretty much the schedules on this are pretty much set, and nothing really interferes with them unless holidays land on the 2nd Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday, or the 4th Wednesday, and or the 1st lands on a weekend or a holiday. So anyway, I like how November is looking up here, because this just means that payments are going to be arriving into the bank accounts of people much sooner this month. But again, this is just the money that's going to be arriving to you anyway as a result of your monthly benefit. And as we all know, everybody needs this money immediately, right? We all need this money so incredibly fast right now, because inflation is high, prices are high. Basically, everything costs significantly more these days. Therefore, as a result of that, it's nice to get that money a little bit sooner, because I've seen the comments down below, a lot of you reaching out saying, I have 16 cents, I have 12 cents, I have $1.42 for the rest of the month. I don't know what I'm going to do. So if we can get those payments out to people a lot sooner and make sure that you're getting the money that you need to put the food on the table or do whatever else you need to do, it's nice to have that, right? So that's great stuff. Anyway, hope this video helps you out. Again, I will continue watching everything else out there going on right now, including all the updates, the announcements, anything coming out of Congress or the administration, the president or lawmakers, everything that they're working on, including all the bills and packages, proposals and amendments, reform to very important fixed income benefits, and of course anything in regards to money, checks, raises to benefits, programs, stimulus, anything else like that. Of course, I'm watching it all closely, along with all of these other big announcements that are literally hitting the wire every single day. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be as your one and only daily advocate. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, please have a nice day. Thanks again for your continued support. I truly do appreciate it. Go back and check out the other videos here on the channel. There's a lot going on right now. We're giving away tons and tons of stuff here on the channel, because I recognize money's very tight right now, and a lot of people just need the basic necessities. Therefore, I'm helping you out with that, as well as cash drops and a lot of other cool things that we're doing right here on the channel. So make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward. And until next time, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next